What's up, everybody? I am in Times Square. This is one of the busiest places on earth, but even though with 300 to 400,000 people coming through here today, there are still a lot of things that people don't know. So I'm going to share a couple of secrets with you that are hidden in plain sight, like an art installation that's been going on for 20 years, and there's a hidden highway right in Times Square. And I'll show you where to find the theater that's actually hovering about 30 feet off the ground. I'll also show you my favorite spot to relax when I want to get away from the crowds, and you can also charge your phone there if you want to. But first things first, I am at the top of Times Square. The Times Square as we know it is a bow tie, and the craziest thing is that this isn't actually Times Square. Right now I'm in Father Duffy Square. It hasn't been Times Square since 1939 when Mayor LaGuardia took the top half of the bow tie and made this Father Duffy Square. So Times Square is just the bottom half of the bow tie, and this is Father Duffy Square. But for the purposes of this video, the entire thing is Times Square. So we're gonna start here and work our way down, and I'm gonna show you a bunch of cool stuff. Okay, as soon as you cross 46th Street, you're gonna come over onto these subway grates here. Not actually subway grates, it's a sound installation. Can you hear it? Even though it's crazy busy on a Saturday night here, you can still hear this. This is by an artist named Newhouse. It's just called Times Square. It's supposed to be a really subtle hum, and you can hear it anytime, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Throughout the entire year. It's kind of cool. 1977 is when they installed it, took it out in 92, put it back in 2002, and it's been going since 2002, so 20 years now. The artist has said that he wants this to be subtle, and that he hopes that at least 50% of the people won't even recognize it, won't even know that there's art underneath their feet. Honestly, from the looks of the people around here, I'd say it's closer to like 98-99% of the people have no clue what's going on right underneath them. Also here at 46 is the Marriott Marquis. Let me take you over here and I'll show you how to get in. You can enter from 46th here or from 45th, but you're basically going to walk into this pedestrian plaza and then go into the middle. What you do when you get in here, just hit the big red button, lobby, and it'll tell you which elevator to go to. So we're going to go to H. When you come out of the elevators, you're going to go this way. That's the lobby right in front of you, and take a right. When you walk past the lobby, over here on the left are going to be some bathrooms. This used to be one of Times Square's best secrets, but apparently everybody knew about it. Now they're only for registered guests. But we do have these seats, and these are not only for registered guests. You can find those seats on both sides of the lobby, and there are usually quite a few open. And each of these seats has outlets, USB, and USB-C. So if you need to charge your phone, come on in here, hang out at the Marriott lobby, and charge it. This Marriott atrium is just such a beautiful space. Keep in mind it is a private space, it is not public, so behave yourself. The Broadway lounge here at the Marriott also overlooks Times Square. Nice view. You can get up by the window. There's also an outdoor space too. So if you can get up by the window, that's a cool dining experience. Hidden right here on 46th Street is another gem I have never seen before until I was doing research for this video. It's the Israel Miller building. I just love how this building has survived. It pays homage to the old glitz and glam of Broadway before it became super bright and over the top. Yeah, check out the building. It's kind of cool to see the four statues here. We got Ethel Barrymore, Marilyn Miller, Mary Pickford, and Rosa Poncell, representing drama, comedy, film, and opera. Alright, we're gonna head back into Times Square here because it's almost time for the midnight moment. Okay, so every night, except for New Year's, but 364 days out of the year, you can come into Times Square from 11:57 to midnight. There's a thing called Midnight Moment. It is the largest and longest running digital public art display in the world. And you're gonna see 92 of the displays all throughout Times Square, all synchronized and show artwork of contemporary artists. So it should start any second now. The artist changes out every single month, so you can come back in here every month and see a new synchronized collection of art. Honestly, this one's not my favorite. I've seen a lot of these. They've been much better. They get really cool. And we're back to the billboards. Midnight Moment's been running since 2012, so 10 years and over 1,000 different artists. So yeah, it only happens for 3 minutes each night, and since most people just kind of tune out billboards and advertisements, a lot of people never even look up and notice. But it's kind of cool to see all of them synchronized throughout the entire square. They get synchronized from 42nd Street all the way up to 47th. So anywhere you're in the square, bow tie, you'll see it. Okay, I'm gonna head home for the night. We'll come back and finish this video tomorrow when it's a little bit quieter. Right? That's better. Alright, so we're here on the corner of 47th and 7th where a new development's being built by TSX. And this is the Palace Theater. This is the secret I want to tell you about. So if you look right here, that used to be ground level. The entire Palace Theater is being raised 30 feet and then set into this new development here. This theater is literally being lifted off the ground. Isn't that crazy? The reason for that is that you can unlock all of this entertainment space underneath here. So they're gonna conserve and restore the inside so it's even more grand and beautiful than before. But the really cool thing is that if you're here in 2022, you can see this thing being lifted, which is an awesome thing. But if you're here after 2023, all you'll do is just go in here and you'll see the theater on the 3rd floor in here and just kind of assume that it was always there. But it wasn't, it was 30 feet lower. So that's kind of a cool secret that's happening right now. All right, once we cross 45th Street, we're now in the actual technical Times Square, although I'm still calling this whole thing Times Square, but here we are, the south part of the bow tie. Just started to rain, so I'm gonna go down to the subway, show you some secrets underground, and then hopefully it'll stop raining before I come back up. As you come down to the 42nd Street Times Square station, it's basically a museum. This is an actual Lichtenstein. It's not made to just look like his style. It is for real his. He made it in '94. So many people, myself included, just run through this station trying to catch a train. And honestly, it's an attraction in itself. Build some time in, go around, wander the station, and check out all the art. I mean, look at this glasswork. It is just incredible. These were just installed in May 2022. The artist is Nick Cave. It's just unreal work. So you've got this entire wall over here, and then in the entranceway over this way too. This work is just mesmerizing. Nick Cave, you're amazing. So there's the 1, 2, 3. Come down this hallway, you got some more art on the left side here. $1 for a hot dog. I wish. He's by Toby Buongorio from the Bronx. We're in a different passageway, and we've got even more Tony Buonagorio street scenes. Some more mosaics on the wall. We come down here, there's even more down below. Looks like everybody's celebrating for New Year's. Oh, is somebody put googly eyes on her? That's awesome. Totally thought that kid was peeing. Does she have a duck in her purse? Is that a duck? These figures stretch the entire passageway all the way over to Port Authority. On both sides. Okay, this is Broadway and 42nd, and that is the Knickerbocker Hotel. The Knickerbocker is famous for a few reasons. I mean, John Jacob Astor IV built it back in 1906, and in 1906, it served a lot of really fancy people. One of the people that got served there is John D. Rockefeller, and he drank a new special drink by a bartender named Martini the Arma d'Italia. And his drink was called the Martini. So, allegedly, this is one of the birthplaces of the Martini. Some people in San Francisco say it's over there, but New Yorkers say it's right here in the Knickerbocker. So when this building was built in 1906, the IRT line, which is now the 123, had just been built. The IRT is the Interborough Rapid Transit. And so there's a station right here next to the hotel. Now in the basement level of the hotel, which is right here, there's a pretty famous and ritzy bar. And John Jacob Astor didn't want his patrons to have to go outside to access the bar. So he built a doorway right into the station. Go outside. And that doorway is still here. It's locked, of course. But behind that door is a passageway that goes straight to the bar. So everybody can get off the train, go right in, get a drink, and then get right back on, and no one would ever even know they were here. right next to track 1 of the shuttle, by the way, if you're looking for it. Coming back across 42nd Street, you would never guess it, but this is actually designated as a highway. Broadway and 42nd, right here in Times Square. This was the eastern terminus of the Lincoln Highway. Lincoln Highway was the first transcontinental highway. It was dedicated in 1913. It connected New York all the way to San Francisco, went over 3,000 miles, and it started right here in Times Square. Funny thing is, if you were driving the Lincoln Highway in 1913, there wasn't a tunnel to go across the river yet. Lincoln Tunnel and Holland Tunnel didn't exist yet. So the highway actually only extended 5 blocks. You would drive 5 blocks and then drive onto a ferry, and then get off in Weehawken and keep going on the other side. Okay, so you probably know that the Times Square ball is left up all year round, so you can always see it no matter when you come here. I had read about a way that you could access the roof for free, and I was gonna test it out here and see if I can get up there. Turns out the entire thing is under construction right now. And I thought I might still be able to get in. Definitely not the case right now. But the good news is that it's under construction because One Times Square realized that they can make a lot of money because a lot of people want to go up and see the ball. So they're building an observation deck at the top there. It'll be a great view of Times Square. Plus you get super close to the ball. You can see it all year round. So that's going to be a really cool thing to come up in the near future. Speaking of New Year's, you know all the confetti that rains down all over the square at midnight? All of those have wishes on them. And if you're here in Times Square anytime in December, you can write your own wish on the confetti and it'll be dropped at midnight. This next one's not as much a secret as it is kind of historical, but I thought it was interesting, so here we go. Times Square used to be called Longacre Square. It was called Longacre Square because in London there was an area where all the horses and carriages were at called Longacre. Here, the Winter Garden Theater, right above 50th, this used to be where Vanderbilt kept his horses and carriages because this whole area above 42nd Street used to just be kind of pastures and farmland and stuff. So this is where all the horses and carriages were at, called Longacre, and that's where that name got it. Brought in electricity and things started happening. Developers started seeing, oh, this could be a cool place. So the New York Times came in, built the building right where One Times Square is, and had the whole place renamed the Times Square. And that's stayed. Yeah, there you go. Now, it has actually nothing to do with the actual time. There are a few clocks in Times Square. So that's it for the video about secrets of Times Square. Thanks so much for watching. If you want to see some more secrets from other popular places around the city, make sure you click on one of these videos over here. Let me know if you find any more secrets in here. Times Square is pretty dynamic, so it's constantly changing. So throw it in the comments here if you have any questions about Times Square or any of the places here in New York. Let me know. I'll answer everything. Have a great day. Bye.